change.
Let me address this point and ask Joe on this. When you look at the tax evasion, which is very common in India, and the underground economy, that's half as large as the legal one. Indians with the illicit cash tend to stash it abroad. So, you never have enough revenue then to alleviate the plight of the ordinary people.
Yeah, I think, as most of the panel members have mentioned, there's corruption all over the world. I think the one difference perhaps between India, let's say, and other Western countries is that it has to become more of a country of laws, where the laws against graft and taking of money for privilege of individuals or of businesses is punished. And it is severely punished, so that examples are made that this cannot be tolerated. You will not eliminate it altogether. We have it in this country, but I think when you get caught in some countries, an example is made that it puts fear into those who are tempted to do the same.
Well, I think one reason, 1/3 of Indian Parliament's members are with the criminal background, the rapists, the murderers, and so do in the state assembly. So even the lawmakers, accountability certainly, as Mr. Joe has mentioned, is very important. But at the same time, the whole structure, the lawmakers, from where they are coming, and even India's Chief Election Commissioner have not been able to come up with any regulation on that anybody with a criminal record can't contest an election. So I think it begins from that those criminals shouldn't be sitting in the parliament.
So you're saying there is this nexus between the state and the businessmen also exists?
Oh, certainly.
Joe brings up an interesting question about the punishment of corrupt people who do corruption. That I think that when I ask the question, like, how can you actually stop corruption? What is the means to which you could slow it down or stop it? And I think that really is at the heart of the issue is being able to hold people accountable or responsible. But unfortunately, the people who make the rules are the people with the money. And so it looks like it's going to perpetuate until you get some kind of a backlash from the poor, some kind of a balance of power, and that might come through something like the Second Amendment.
Even adding to it, I'd like to say that even judiciary. Now, the one scandal which is in the Indian media is about Indian Supreme Court's Chief Justice, ex-Chief Justice, Mr. Balakrishnan. He, his son-in-law, all are involved in collecting millions of dollars from those cases which they heard from there. So
there has to be a societal mindset. And unfortunately, the real victims of this are the poor worldwide. When it starts hitting the middle of the middle class in a profound way, I think that's when there'll be some form of societal mindset change, like Mothers Against Drunk Driving. 30 years ago, you got caught drunk driving, the cop was like, follow me. Today, you're going to jail.
I don't know what it's like. I don't know what it's like in India, but my experience with corruption in Haiti is contrary to that. The people down at the bottom, just in terms of customs, trying to get a shipping container through customs, you have to pay the bribe, and the bribe doesn't go to the people up at the top. The bribe goes to the people down at the bottom, and they will take that money and use it, hopefully for their families. But the idea that there's corruption at every level.
And I think I'll agree with my fellow panelists that now, like 1 or 2 cases of scandals which came out were due to public interest litigations filed in Indian Supreme Court, where in one case, as the major scandal, the G2 Spectrum scandal, which is $40 billion scandal, that came out after one Mr. Subramanian Swamy filed a petition in the Supreme Court. He waited for 1 year. Firstly, he wrote to Indian Prime Minister, waited for a response. When he didn't respond, then he filed a petition in the Supreme Court, and after hearing all that came out. So certainly, very small number of honest people, those forming small organizations, they are trying to see that how this corruption is unraveled and accountability process.
Okay, now here is, Joe, here is a little bit of a realistic way of looking at it. Is the Indian Prime Minister was unable to discipline people in his coalition government. Because he needs their support to rule the country. What is the Prime Minister to do in under such circumstances? If he catches them on corruption and he dismisses them, then he loses, he cannot rule the country. He loses the coalition. That is a major problem with Indian politics.